Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're staying healthy and safe during this unbelievable, crazy time that we are all going through. Normally, I don't speak in my 100 Days of Practice videos. I guess I just wanted to keep it simple, but today I'm not sure I'm going to play anymore. And I wanted to talk to you about a resource that I've been using for years that is directly tied to all of the practicing I do. And it's basically built around the idea of timers. Uh, so the app that I use for this is not a music timer. It is an app called Seconds Pro, and I'll show you what that looks like here. And I'm going to walk you through basically how I use this, how I build them, and some of the concepts around why I think it's important and how it can be a resource for you, hopefully. So here's what the app looks like. And so all of these here are timers, and they have groups and they have subgroups. And so I'm going to show you a few that I have right now. I call these, this is the routine section. Right now I have the stay home routine, and you can see how each timer, you push play on the timer and it cycles through. So I have the very minimum, a minute of breathing at the beginning of my session. This is a little bit of a foreshadowing of something that's coming, but it's a little bit of work that I do for 2 minutes. And then I go to Clark 1 for a few minutes. All of the reds are rests. All of the greens are active or playing sessions. Now this one is a little bit unique for the stay-at-home thing because I'm trying some new approaches. But right now, if you can't see these, it goes breathing, some setup work, Clark, stamp, scales, slurring, some tonguing, Charlier, Clark 2. Now, this is a little bit different, like I said. Some other ones, I have them set up, I used to do for about a year and a half, an even and an odd day, because I couldn't get everything done in one day. So again, this one starts with breathing, Clark 1, some buzzing. Now, one of the cool features about Seconds Pro is you can add a music track to your interval. And so what I started doing was taking the Richard Schwartz tuning CD, having that downloaded onto my device, and using those drones as music tracks for certain things. So for example, this says buzzing in C.
Buzzing C.
And it'll give me a drone in C that I can buzz over, maybe if I'm doing stamp. And then I have it go to buzzing in G. And then I basically go through the whole stamp routine, or at least a modified version that I have, with the drones going sequentially by each step. So
Stamp C. Stamp B. Stamp BB.
And it goes all the way through them, giving me a drone so that I'm not just trying to look at a tuner to play in tune, but I'm actually actively using my ear as I play with this drone. So then I'm not going to go through this whole routine, but just to give you an idea how I've used this in the past. The other day, the even and the odd day, the other day that I use in that sequence is very similar with some slight modifications to augment what I did to get to what I didn't get to the day before. Now let me show you how to do this real quick so you can start building yours. And there's one other thing I want to share with you. So when you want to build your own routine, you go up into the top right corner and there's a little plus sign. Then it's going to ask you what kind of routine you want to build. And I want you to go to custom timer, which is at the very bottom or close to the bottom. Now you're going to name this timer. We'll call this IG timer. And let's see, let me fix that. Now we're going to just start building our exercises. So exercise 1, you click in there, you rename it. Let's just say play. I'm just going to play, and I'm going to pick a time. I'm going to play for 3 minutes. And I can pick a color. Green means go. And that's it. I click back. There's that timer. Now I want to add another exercise. Even after 3 minutes, you might want to say, I'm going to rest. So we'll add a rest part to this. We'll say I'm going to rest for 1 minute, even though maybe you should rest as much as you play. But for this purpose, I'm just going to go through it. Now, let's say you wanted to actually, you could keep building your routine just however you want. Um, Incorporating rest, play, rest, play, rest, play. And you should start experimenting with that to see what's beneficial for you. And I'll get to that in a second. So you can select these, you can copy and paste. So I could add a bunch of different timers if I wanted to, just so that you can save a little bit of time. So when I want to edit that timer, I see the timer, IG timer. I go to the right, I click on the little tab there, and I can adjust this timer. This actually populated something from before that I had copied, so that's why it happened a little funny like that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is shedding. One of the biggest concepts I talk about when I teach is where are you spending your time? Is it reinforcing good habits or reinforcing bad habits? And I think one of the biggest missteps that I get into, and I see other people getting into, is we play too long without rest. So I ask people, what is a hard piece for a lot of people to play? And I say, somebody will say Brandenburg. And I say, well, okay, how long is the last movement? And people think about it and it's like, well, it's just a couple minutes. But it's really hard. But it's just a couple minutes. Okay, so we should have some idea about what we can do for how long. So in this entire group here is shedding intervals. So one of them is 21 seconds to play, 9 seconds to rest. One is 20 seconds rest, 10 seconds rest. 35 on, 15 seconds off. 45 seconds on, 45 seconds off. 1 minute on, 1 minute off. 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Stuff like that. You would be surprised what you can do in those times and how beneficial those rests are going to be. You can do anything in those rests. You could listen. Here's the other thing. In the rest, you could assign your favorite trumpet player, your favorite artist to come in and remind you what you want to sound like in the rest, because you can add it as a musical track. Let me show you how to do that. So in our IG timer, we have here, I go to edit it and I go down. I pick a track that I want to add music to. Let's say this 1 minute of rest. And at the bottom here, it says extras. You're going to select audio. And then it's going to go into you can see the tuning CD here. And I could go to Satin Doll. And if I wanted to practice jazz for this 1 minute, I could do that. Or if I wanted to listen to whatever track, I can listen to that. So this is kind of a flash tutorial on Seconds Pro and timers. How you spend your time is massively influential to how effective your practice is going to be. So I hope you guys, I hope this helps you. Try it, experiment with it, try a bunch of different ones, and see what you learn from it. Hope that helps. Bye.